When you're giving and receiving feedback, we tend to focus on the person who is receiving feedback. But of course, there is somebody else in that equation, the person giving the feedback. And I think it's incumbent on those of us who are asked to give feedback to do it as well as we can, not just winging it, but stopping, thinking, and doing it properly. Because when you're giving someone feedback on something that can be quite stressful, like a presentation or a speech, you have the opportunity here to really build them up and build their confidence or knock them apart. And I've seen too many people give feedback thinking they're being helpful, and all they've actually done is undercut that person and left them in a far worse state. Now, hopefully the person who's seeking feedback from you has told you in advance what they would like feedback on. They might have asked for very specific things, or they might have just given you some general questions. And the questions that I recommend they ask, and you'll find them in a previous video as well, are the questions that I recommend you answer. So if somebody's just come up to you and said, look, could you give me feedback on what you saw this morning or yesterday or whatever? Things to concentrate on, 3 questions. What worked? This is the good stuff. You were really good at that. That little section really worked. That laugh you got was just lovely. You really connected with the audience there. Tell them the good stuff. Build them up. The next question is, what didn't work? What could I have done differently? And here I think you've got an opportunity to make some suggestions. Okay, so that section, it didn't quite hang together. I didn't really understand the point you were making, or that set of slides didn't really add anything. Maybe you need to rework that. That little sort of bit of audience interaction needs a bit more work. Make suggestions, but try not to frame them in, well, I would have done this. If I were in your position, I would have done that. It's not about you. It's not about what you would have done. It's about what this person should be doing to be as good as they can possibly be. I think then when you come to, in terms of what the key message was, repeat back to them what you took away as the key message, bearing in mind that it might be quite different to the key message they were trying to communicate. And you've got the opportunity here to help them develop that key message, to possibly reflect back the language you've used rather than the language they were using in the presentation. And also I'd go do the same for a call to action. Okay, this is what I think you wanted me to do as a result of this presentation or pitch. So what was that call to action? Was it clear? Was it easy to put into practice? So I think when you're giving feedback, those are really good questions to use. What worked? What didn't work? Possible supplementary of what you could have done differently. Make some suggestions. And then the third question is, this is what I think your call to action or key message was. Have I got this right? Try not to give feedback to somebody when they've just come off stage, because their head, or when they've just sat down in the meeting, their head is just going, because the adrenaline is pumping. They're not really going to listen. They're certainly not going to take it in. Try not to give feedback just of walking down a corridor. Take a moment, take 5 minutes, sit down with them in a cafe, in a meeting room, in your office, wherever, and give considered feedback. I'd actually say don't even do it the same day. Do it the following day. But you, as the feedback giver, should have made some notes, just so you know exactly what you want to cover. Oh yeah, I need to tell them about that, that, and that, and that, while it's fresh in your mind, and then you come back to it the following day. It also means if there is anything that they maybe get upset about, or that maybe you really didn't like, any anger, any upset, hopefully will have been reduced by just that little buffer of a day or so. But aim to make it practical, applicable. It's not about what you would have done, it's about how they can be better. And there's a key difference in that. So if you're giving feedback, give it some structure, make sure they hear and understand the good stuff. They don't just dismiss it. Make sure people realize that they're actually pretty good at this. Then tell them what you think they could have done differently, make some suggestions, and then just reflect back on that call to action. It's a really useful way of giving feedback, and hopefully it will be enjoyable and useful for both you and that person who's the recipient. If you want more tips on presenting and public speaking, in particular giving and receiving feedback, please do explore my YouTube channel and then like and subscribe.